Well, this is awkward. Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna be here this soon. I thought, I was gonna give it like a week or two, maybe even a month before I talked about this subject again. Little did I know that my government was going to turn around and then bump the tariff percentage up to 146%.
Breaking overnight, tariffs on China could jump as high as 245%. A White House fact sheet on Wednesday says the new hike is in response to China's retaliatory tariff of 125%. China has said it would not increase tariffs again, even if the United States does, posting this morning, quote, China remains committed to joining hands, not throwing punches. President Trump also hinting that phones and electronics may not be exempt from tariffs after all. Small imports will also be tariffs starting May 2nd, the president closing a loophole that had allowed imports less than $800 to be tariff exempt.
So yeah, that's why I'm making this video today. Oh, we're so screwed. Oh, okay. Hi, hello. Hi, my name is Kuro, and I'm your cosplayer out of cosplay, and this is my commentary of the day. So basically, to make this short and sweet and simple to the point, I don't know exactly how we're going to get through this, but I do feel like in these moments of trying times, the most important thing is to stay together and to enjoy things that make you happy. And right now, one of those things, of course, that will always make me happy is definitely cosplay. So I thought today I would like to talk to you guys about the best way to basically get around the system. I'm going to share some of my thrifting hacks as well as some of the best ways for cosplayers to be able to find other solutions other than buying online, especially, for those, of course, that can't afford to buy a cosplays online and buy, through the 146% tariff, you're good. Keep doing you, live your best life. I would probably buy a ticket to China and buy the dang cosplays there myself and bring that crap back. I'd be like Ice Show speed, but we all can't do that. For those that can't, here I am. So with that being said, I feel like what a lot of people didn't realize within the cosplay community, and I knew it, and I said in my video earlier before, but I didn't really emphasize on it, is that with cosplays, like cosplay companies and stuff having to, of course, change prices for tariffs because a lot of our cosplays are purchased are purchased from China. A lot of our materials also come from China. So even if you don't buy cosplays and you make them suckers from scratch, a lot of fabric prices are definitely and most likely are going to go up, including EVA foam. Fun fact, all your EVA foam, that stuff comes from China too. A large portion of it is actually made in China. So even if you're like, oh, well, I don't make pretty dresses and I don't make cosplay outfits by sewing, I make foam armor pieces. Hun, you have another thing coming. Yeah, so to be able to find some of the solutions within cosplay to be able to work around these issues, like I said, I want to share that maybe this is the best time within the cosplay community for us to start learning how to properly thrift, as well as the best ways to recycle cosplays. I want us to be able to kind of go beyond just the consumerism and spending and almost like transform, mutate, mold, I don't know, into something that will actually be not only consumer based because cosplay is already very consumer filled, be able to recycle or reuse or, like I said, thrift materials into something that can be reused for another cosplay or a new piece or a new form of art, because again, cosplay is art. And to start at the top of the list, I'm gonna go by points. So point one, or first point we're gonna work on, for the cosplayers that can sew, this part is for you. I feel like if you are a sewist or if you are a crafter that can, make, like I said, foam pieces, your best places to be able to work outside of just purchasing online is definitely going to be thrift stores. Obviously, I feel like there's a large portion of thrift stores, and I'm not just talking about Goodwill, I'm talking about your local mom and pop thrift stores. I'm talking about those. Start going on Google Maps and actually learning of the corner stores and thrift stores and material places that have things like even places that have estate sales where they sell materials and things of that nature. Within thrift stores, you can definitely go in between and break down things from like actually buying sheets and buying, fabric sold at thrift stores. Because I noticed you Goodwill. I noticed how you're starting to use your sheets and wrap them up like fabrics, like bundles, like at Joann. I see you. Breaking those sheets and things down into whatever fabric that you need for cosplay. You can also do the same thing with dresses, outfits. Learn how to be a little bit more crafty. And again, as a creative liberty queen will say this, don't be afraid to reach outside of your cosplay and exacts, and also work with what you have in a way that, again, can recycle materials so that you're not spending 146% of your money on Chinese goods. Even though, again, I'm so sorry, China, because I will admit it is kind of funny waking up in the morning and seeing all the Chinese manufacturers posting and talking shit and basically pointing out that a large portion of American consumerism, where people spend thousands and thousands of dollars on Louis Vuitton bags and Lululemon, actually could have been spending a lot less money because most of those items are just made in China and then they're sent over to Italy or wherever to add smack the logo on and maybe the hardware. Yeah. Embarrassing. So besides that, I feel like definitely working within the thrift stores and working within looking online in Google and Facebook Marketplace and finding places where you can thrift and get materials. You'd be surprised how many people sell fabric on OfferUp, on Facebook Marketplace, and things of that nature that are local in your area that you can just, again, like I said, reuse these materials. People that sell foam off of Facebook Marketplace, and as well as thrift stores and things of that nature. And also, there are other ways to use materials if you cannot access foam. There are other forms of materials such as cardboard, paper mache. I know that one's a rough one, but work with me. These are trying times. So again, unfortunately, we have places like Joanne she's gone, y'all. She's not coming back. And unfortunately for y'all that are like, oh, I'll just shop at Michael's, most of Michael's fabric comes from Joanne. So I don't know what you're going to do there. But I do feel like, of course, if you do live locally around any craft stores and anything that you, again, like I said, find in your area, that also might be your best bet. I know I have multiple fabric stores. Luckily, I was lucky enough to live in Atlanta where there is film. So where there's film, there's always going to be fabric because of costumes and drapery and side deck. So with that, we do have those materials that you can purchase, but let's say the prices go up at those fabric stores and you can't afford those fabric store prices anymore. There are places, again, like I said, and again, I can't speak for you. You might live in a state where this doesn't exist or where it may not be accessible. I'm just giving you the things I know about and that I can share. And if you live in Atlanta, great, good for you. I'm sharing my personals. I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm comfortable giving you guys this because, yeah, he's going to be in office for 3 more years and change. We're gonna have to figure this out. But all that to say, I have places that I like to go to called Scraplanta, where it's not a thrift store, but it's a thrifting craft store where people go and share their crafting goods that they're not using or the hobby that they're no longer interested in, and they bring it to Scraplanta so that it can then be resold and reused again, so it doesn't go into the landfills and end up in garbage. So I feel like there are places like that. You just have to look for them. Again, another thing that we actually have here in Atlanta is we have a small convention. I do not remember the name off the top of my head and I don't feel like looking for it, so I'm going to just pop it on the screen somewhere, where basically cosplayers like to go ahead and they will actually get booths and sell their already used or reused or resell their cosplays at these booths, as well as their materials and things, maybe even a project they haven't finished or cosplays that they're just selling genuinely. And it's once a year and I love it. I've only been to it once, but it was really cool and I hope to go to it again. Part 2. For the cosplayers that do not know how to sew and are not crafty girlies in that said so state and can't afford to purchase a sewing machine or a heat gun and you don't want to hand sew, this is for you. I'm talking to you. So for those girly pops, we actually have, talk about good timing. I will say I discovered this, I think 2 days ago. I think this is probably the best timed thing we could have gotten. I discovered this cosplay resale website, which I think, again, like I said, is perfect timing, recently on Instagram, called Lumika. And Lumika, like I said, is a cosplay resale site where people that are selling their cosplays or costumes or outfits that they no longer want, they're reselling it at a lesser or lower price, as well as cosplay wigs, because again, cosplay wigs are made in China. So I need y'all to know that we are gonna struggle because them wig prices were already bad. I mean, no, I'm lying. Some of them wig prices were good. Some of the wig prices for the more expensive ones, I'm talking about them artists with the lace front. The convenience. I feel like, not to side tangent, I feel like we're gonna go back to old cosplay days where beforehand in the reminiscing of early cosplay when there was just Party City, which mind you, I say that We don't have Party City anymore. What kind of dystopian future do we live in? This is actually kind of crazy. But back in the cosplay days where like we had Party City and you'd buy like that ugly Party City wig and try to make something out of it, and resources really weren't there and people were making like cosplay wigs from scratch and all that. So, you know, this will be a conversation, you know, in the future, you know, when we look back at it and go, oh, do you remember in 25 when the tariff wars with China was happening and our only form of release was just, you know, dressing up as little anime characters. So our best way of doing that, you know, was thrifting little items and fighting for wigs. So yeah, I'll just say Lumika. Lumika is a, like I said, cosplay resale website, and I've been going through it, and I see a lot of items that I think, again, random, this is not sponsored. I just discovered this like 2 days ago. I just want to share this with y'all. Just know they don't know I'm doing this, but if they want to sponsor me, if they want to, you know, hook a girl up, you don't have to though. But I really do want to share this. It's a very cosplay positive site, and it looks like it's going to definitely build, and especially like right now, I think this is the perfect time to use websites like that where it can be a lot easier. There are other websites, of course, though, outside of Lumika. If let's say you don't see your cosplay there, again, this is where we're going to get into the little bit of crafty, again, into the little bit of creative liberty, going on to websites such as like Depop, such as Mercari, such as, you know, ThredUp, that's what it's called, ThredUp. Again, not sponsored, just throwing it out there. ThredUp, if you want to contact me though, let a girl know. But places like I said, Depop, Mercari, ThredUp, where they might have, I've seen cosplayers sell their stuff on there, so the cosplay might be on there, but if it's not, you could also still break down such things as the type of cosplay that you are trying to make up. Find materials and things that you could use to then break up and break down to be able to make your cosplay. And of course, you know, work with what you have. I, for one, have definitely used many thrifted outfits and pieces and retransformed them into my cosplays. I'm doing that right now for Shadow, so that'll be a video coming in the future. But I definitely think, especially also, I think with ThredUp, I don't know this, I'm not sponsored, I'm just throwing this out for y'all. I think there is like something within the system, AI or not or whatever, where you can actually tell it what the type of outfit or what you're looking for. Let's say you're cosplaying a pirate character and you need a pirate blouse. You can actually type in pirate blouse or show an image of it or something to that effect, and then it'll actually like pop up on the screen again to be able to make it easy for you to find. Again, ThredUp, if you are watching this video, please sponsor me. I will let people know about all this. But again, this is not sponsored. I just genuinely like the site and I've seen the usefulness in it. And I think, again, right now when things are going to be a lot harder, and for younger cosplayers and baby cosplayers that, you know, are in high school or in college that do not know, you know, you guys don't know exactly what to do. I do want to share these resources with y'all so that you know for the future and you can kind of find a way around, again, these hard times and expensive things. And also we're in a recession. So being in a recession makes this a lot harder. So if cosplay is the way you deal with, you know, your stresses, I feel like I should be the big elder cosplay sis and share this with you. Now, on my last point, right now, with everything that's happening, again, within the U.S., this is all, of course, for the United States. If you're just watching from a different country and you're laughing at the struggles, you know, enjoy the laugh. Hopefully, I can give you a smile in these times. But if you're in the United States, I feel like right now, more than ever, this is the time for community. I feel like coming together as cosplayers, you know, and communicating with each other and letting each other know how we're going, what's going on. I talk to my friends all the time. They can tell you, like, I will literally call them and be like, hey, you know, just checking up on you. And also communicating, like, if I don't know how to do something, I have a cosplayer friend that knows how to sew. I'm going to ask them sewing techniques. I myself, I'm a prop girly. So if my friends do not know what to do with a certain prop or how to make a certain prop, I'm going to give them the easiest possible option or way to make that said so prop without burning themselves out. Especially if they don't have a 3D printer, you'd be surprised how easily you can find something and transition it into a cosplay prop, the effects or use of a 3D printer or EVA foam. Especially if you're making guns. If you're making cosplay guns and you don't use a toy gun to make a cosplay gun, you are missing out. That is one of the most satisfying, fun things, crafty things I can do for you. But that's on it. But definitely reaching out and your specifically cosplayer friends know, like, hey, you know, I don't know what to do with this. Communicate with everybody. And for those, you know, again, like I said, baby cosplayers that have no cosplayer friends yet, you will in the future. I'm pretty sure you will. If you don't have any cosplayer friends yet, or you don't know who to talk to, there are definitely websites, Discords. Be careful in them. there are some weirdos out there. But there are definitely websites, and there are things such as Discord where you can go ahead and you can communicate with people. I'm in like several Discords now where I talk to multiple different people about like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing here, or they're giving us cosplay progresses or telling us any new cosplay techniques and things of that nature. And again, like right now, I feel like the time of showing people like, hey, this is how I transformed this dress into a jacket, or this is how I transformed these pants into this skirt, especially again when, you know, we can't afford to purchase such things as brand new fabric or purchase this skirt or jacket online at the cosplay website because it's too much, it's too expensive. So I just want to tell you, if you haven't heard or if no one has told you yet, to not give up on your hobby. Don't give up on the thing that really does make you feel happy and the thing that really just brings you joy. Don't let that go. Especially again, like I said, when it's really stressful and stress inducing. If this is something that really brings you joy, and I know, I hear it all the time, you know, cosplay is a liberty, you know, obviously don't go to a con if you don't have money to be able to pay for food, or, you know, don't go to a con if you ain't pay your bills and your phone's about to get turned off because of it, you know, obviously nothing to that nature. But if you genuinely do have a chance to work on cosplay and it genuinely makes you happy and it brings you joy, don't let what's happening in our government stop you from being you and enjoying yourself and enjoying having a good time and meeting new friends. Again, cosplay is about community. You go to cons, at least for me, one of the things I do when I go to cons and I'm wearing cosplay, it gives me like I'm putting on like a super suit or like a mask, and like I can be extroverted. I mean, I'm already extroverted, but like I can be even more outside of myself and talk to people and talk to cosplayers and tell them that I love their cosplay, or tell them I love their outfit, or let my favorite cosplayers know how much I appreciate the words they've told me and talked to me about. And I feel like, you know, we can't lose that momentum even when things are, you know, as hectic as they are. So this is your little PSA from your local cosplayer, your cosplayer out of cosplay. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and you have yourself an amazing day. And God, I hope these tariffs do not go any higher. Please, man, what are you doing? The Chinese are literally offering free passports to go to China to buy their goods. This is getting embarrassing. But yeah, you have yourself a fantastic, wonderful, cosplay-alicious day.